And we haven't even been into Singapore yet, and we're already blown away.
Here are our 10 favourite things that we loved about Singapore.
Between us, we've flown through about 50 airports, and honestly, we can't remember any of them, except one. Singapore. Wow, this is amazing.
At the heart of the jewel is the world's tallest indoor waterfall, the Rain Vortex. Phenomenal. A 40-metre tall indoor waterfall that pours through the centre of the building like something from a sci-fi film.
In real life, it's just next level.
This is really worth seeing. It's worth
it is.
coming to the airport just to see this. It's amazing. The jewel was designed by visionary architect Moshti Safti, who also created Singapore's most famous and iconic landmark that we'll see later. We're really loving Singapore. We haven't even got out the airport.
The jewel is also home to one of Singapore's biggest and most popular shopping centres.
Airports are usually forgettable places you just rush through, but we spent over 3 hours here.
This is incredible.
We haven't even been into Singapore yet, and we're already blown away. It set the tone for our visit to Singapore. You think, it can't keep this up, but trust us, it most definitely does. Singapore is so easy to get around.
The MRT was a huge reason why our stay in Singapore was so enjoyable.
The MRT is extensive, efficient and incredibly easy to use, with most places only a short walk and a train ride away. But it isn't just the MRT. Beneath the city, there's almost a hidden network of walkways linking stations, shopping centres and major buildings. So you can often avoid street level altogether and escape the heat and humidity.
And above ground, Singapore has more than 700 kilometres of cycling paths. Bike tours are a popular way for visitors to explore the city. Sadly, we just didn't have enough time, but that's definitely one for our next visit.
Owning a car here is extremely expensive, which keeps the road relatively quiet. That makes getting around by bus, taxi or car surprisingly easy. We used an open-top bus tour to get our bearings, and when it was time to leave, we took a taxi to the airport. The 20-kilometre journey took around half an hour and cost us about $30 Australian. Yes, the MRT would have been cheaper, but it would have taken longer, and lugging our cases up escalators and through busy stations just didn't feel worth it. However you choose to travel, Singapore just makes getting around so easy. And that also applies to getting there in the first place, as we'll see now. With Singapore Airlines, it felt as though we'd arrived in Singapore the moment we stepped on board the plane. Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
People had told us it would be amazing, but honestly, it far exceeded our expectations. We took 4 flights in total, and every one of them was exceptional. The crews were warm, polished, and genuinely attentive. The meals felt like restaurant quality dining, the wines were excellent, and the seats were remarkably comfortable. What impressed us most, though, was the sense of pride behind it all. Nothing felt contrived or forced. Instead, it reflected a genuine commitment to delivering outstanding service and representing Singapore with authenticity and care. We've flown extensively over the years, but never in business class. Yet no other airline has ever made us feel so special. When it comes to food, Singapore really does have it all. You can go to high-end celebrity chef restaurants like Gordon Ramsay's at Marina Bay Sands, or literally go to the other end of the spectrum and eat incredible food at one of Singapore's famous hawker centres for just a few dollars. And don't mistake cheap for second-rate. Some hawker stalls have even earned Michelin recognition. But for us, part of the fun was just exploring. In Chinatown, you'll find amazing Chinese food, but also restaurants serving everything from Thai food to dishes across Asia. We found the locals incredibly friendly and happy to chat. Then head to Little India and surprisingly you're spoilt for choice with incredible Indian food, and even breakfast was an experience. We absolutely love trying Kea toast. Sweet coconut jam and butter on crispy toast, traditionally served with soft-boiled eggs, and a cup of deliciously sweet kopi tarik coffee, where coffee is skillfully poured from a great height.
Now, this is where Singapore gets truly amazing. We're about to visit Gardens by the Bay, and as you'll see, they're incredible enough in their own right. But when you realise that all of this was once the sea, it becomes truly jaw-dropping, because this used to be Singapore's shoreline, and everything you're about to see beyond it was once the sea. Over decades, Singapore gradually reclaimed huge areas of land from the sea, reshaping the coastline and creating Marina Bay as we know it today. Singapore didn't just build an extraordinary garden, it first had to create the very land it put it on. Staggering, it's like being on some futuristic planet thousands of years in the future.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just surreal.
The towering super trees are unlike anything else we've ever seen, while inside the conservatories you have the spectacular cloud forest, complete with its indoor waterfall. Jurassic World has taken over with life-size animated dinosaurs hidden amongst the mist and waterfalls. This isn't a permanent exhibit, and Gardens by the Bay regularly changes its attractions. And the enormous flower dome filled with plants and flowers from all around the world. It's futuristic, beautiful and completely unique. And knowing that all of this was created on land reclaimed from the sea somehow makes it even more extraordinary. People told us that Singapore would be really expensive, but honestly, that wasn't our experience at all. At least, not if you know where to go. Of course, Singapore has plenty of high-end shopping, especially around Marina Bay and Orchard Road, with huge shopping centres full of luxury and designer brands. But it also has some amazing value shopping. We absolutely loved the Mustafa Centre in Little India. It genuinely felt like they sold almost anything you could think of, including loads of well-known brands, and the prices were incredibly reasonable. We ended up buying far more than we expected, and we went twice.
No! I am wearing this in the wintertime. So cozy. Sold to the idiot with the blonde hair. Oh, I'm buying that.
Shopping in Chinatown was also really affordable and great fun, with loads of smaller shops, souvenirs and bargains to discover. But honestly, if you're looking for a bargain in Singapore, we'd say the Mustafa Centre is an absolute must.
Wow.
Just make sure you leave enough room in your suitcase, or buy another one while you are there. I moved from Scotland to Australia for a reason. I just don't do cold. But even where we live in Australia, winters can still get pretty cool. So one thing that I absolutely loved about Singapore is you can almost guarantee that it's going to be warm. Singapore sits almost on the equator, so it's almost 30 degrees all year round. So it really is a tropical island. Yes, it can get humid, but that injection of tropical warmth was just what I needed. So if you're like me and you don't do cold, Singapore certainly delivers.
Singapore is pretty amazing, I have to say. And there's the Marina Bay Sands Hotel behind us.
It's incredible. Just incredible. It's such it's
So much
lovely.
fun.
It's such fun.
And this is a shopping mall at the base of the Marina Bay Sands. Beautiful, oh my God. Here's the gondola.
We heard so much about this one.
And there's something wonderfully fitting about gondolas here. Venice is slowly sinking into the sea, while Singapore has literally risen from it.
So from Tower 1 and 2, you can literally cut across, come up to level 6, cut across, and you're in the Gardens by the Bay. So you don't have to cross any of the busy roads.
We're heading up there.
Yay!
Amazing.
How many times have we said wow, Lewis? How many?
Mate, so many you've lost track. But this place is just wow. Yeah, we did the gardens, they were really good. It's incredible that 50 years ago this was the sea.
Can you imagine being up here for the
There's surprisingly few cars on the road when you look at it. This is the guy who designed this. Pretty impressive. He also designed the Jewel at Changi Airport. Singapore just doesn't stop. They're building another luxury hotel tower right by Marina Bay Sands.
Everybody has just been so lovely. One of the things that will really stay with us is the people. We found Singaporeans to be some of the warmest, gentlest and friendliest people we have ever met.
Welcome to Singapore.
Whether it was someone helping us with directions, having a quick chat, or simply making us feel welcome, there was a genuine kindness that came through again and again.
We love Singapore.
We love Australia.
Perfect end to Singapore.
My gentleman talking to us. He was such a sweetheart. He was so gentle and oh, it was beautiful. As you said, it was quite emotional actually.
Yeah. Chinatown is another one of our favourite spots in Singapore.
To be honest, we found it incredibly difficult choosing just 10 things we love about Singapore because it really does have it all. It is a mixture of cultures, from Chinatown to Little India, and a journey from heritage to the future, from Raffles to one of the most futuristic skylines in the world. Add tropical Sentosa, incredible hotels, rooftop pools, spectacular fireworks and drone shows, and it even has its own F1 race every year. Number 10 is simple. Singapore is the complete package with something for everyone.
It's pretty amazing, Bonnie, isn't it? It's
Oh, it was good. Wow.
We hope you have enjoyed our memories of Singapore, and thank you for watching Lewis and Bonnie's Australia and Away.